This doesn't look like much. Don't let this fool you. This is described as the most efficient form of exercise yet devised by man. That is a NASA quote. It's been also referred to as the miracle exercise or the fountain of youth. The benefits connected to rebounding are nearly obnoxious, which is why I would describe it as the most deceiving workout, because it doesn't look like you're doing anything. Yet this simple exercise burns 50 to 70% more calories than walking, is known to improve cardiovascular health, bone density, metabolism, improve sleep, muscle mass, posture, cellulite, stretch marks. And that's off the top of my head. Here's the problem. Plenty of people have rebounders and are not getting these benefits. In this video, it's so important for you to know an overall history of rebounding, what you can do to get the most out of rebounding, and then I'm gonna share with you testimonials shared on the internet, some of which are my own, some of which are very unique and unexpected and a little bit personal. And if you're new here, my name's Rachel. I just love covering random things that are really helpful for me. And I'm now at a point in my life where I really want to simplify things. I'm kind of over the stuff. I don't need a 10-step nighttime routine. I just want to simplify my life. Rebounding has really helped that because it is like a multitasking workout. Especially for me, it combines health and vanity, which is what I'm all for. All right, let's get into it with a quick review of rebounding. This is truly going to be a rundown. Rebounding got its start from NASA. And the story goes like this. Astronauts would be in orbit for extended periods of time without gravity. And you can imagine the muscles that work for us constantly to resist gravity, for us not to fall down, for us to keep our head up, all these muscles that we have working against gravity. Well, what happens when you no longer have gravity? What happens to all of those muscles? Well, they're not used, and you don't use it, you lose it, right? So these astronauts would come back from orbit and they would have a lot of reduced muscle mass. And NASA had to figure out, how do we rebuild the strength for these astronauts in all these areas efficiently? How do we do that? I mean, think about that. Yeah, sure, you can do arm curls and work your biceps and your triceps. But what about all the little muscles that we're not even conscious of, that you can't really do a workout for? And that's really where rebounding came about, because this simple exercise allows for resistance on all the muscles of the body. It works out various systems in addition to that. We're talking lymphatic, cardiovascular, skeletal, muscular, all of these systems. The reason why rebounding is uniquely beneficial is because it leverages gravity, acceleration, and deceleration to create a comprehensive workout that stimulates multiple body systems. The up and down motion stimulates the lymphatic system, which relies on contractions and gravity to move lymph. This helps remove toxins, boost immune function, and improve overall health, helps strengthen muscles, ligaments, and tendons while improving bone density, reducing the risk of osteoporosis. It enhances cardiovascular health, boosts balance and coordination, encourages cellular health, reduces stress, and enhances mental clarity, burns calories, and boosts metabolism. And why it's unique is because it's a low-impact, full-body workout that benefits cardiovascular health, muscular strength, and cellular function, all while being fun and gentle on the body. This versatility is why it's often referred to as the miracle exercise. Okay, so now you know the gist of the rebounding background and how it's so beneficial. Now let's get into the tips for you to get the most out of this. The first one should come as no surprise, but you've got to be consistent. And we're not talking much. I mean, even 10 minutes a day. Plenty of people will watch TV while they're rebounding or listen to music, but you gotta get it in. When I was doing the 75 medium challenge, which I talk about all the time, there were so many days where I would just bounce for 45 minutes. And I felt like I was cheating. I felt like I wasn't getting much out of it. But if you can keep in mind that this burns 50 to 70% more calories than walking, what was 45 minutes of rebounding doing? I mean, if we multiply that, that would be more like 67, 68 minutes of walking. And so when I noticed I was really getting slim from doing this, I'm like, there is something here. Sure, I knew about the vanity benefits, which is what prompted me to invest in rebounding, but then to find out wow, this is really powerful. 10 minutes is really all you need, but If you're somebody that can do more than that, then by all means do. Key takeaway number 2 after being consistent, because with anything you want to be consistent, this is something I'm pretty opinionated on, and that is to get a quality rebounder. There is no shortage of stories of people getting a rebounder, not realizing that the quality is poor, only to create more issues, only to get back pain, only to roll their ankle, because there's like a balance you need. You don't want the rebounder to have too much give, because that's when like ankles can roll, and then you don't want it to be too firm, because that's when you can have pain. So I've really found, and I'm really opinionated about this, I think the Cellerciser is the best one out there. You don't need to replace the bungee cords like you do with some other ones. It has a really strong reputation. If you buy it, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, and they last forever. They are spendy, but oftentimes quality is. Every now and then you may be able to find one for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Because they are such quality, I would probably feel comfortable buying a used one. But in my area, they're rarely available, because I'll check now and then, because I'm like telling all my friends and family, you need a Cellerciser. But if you already have a rebounder and you're like, gosh, come on, really? I would say if you know that you can be consistent, and sometimes having a cheaper version is a great way to let you know that, and you're like, you know what, I enjoy this so much, I want to get the best one, then that's probably a good time to invest in a Cellerciser. They often have sales going on. I will include a coupon code for you in the description box, but I'm really opinionated on that, because when I got a rebounder first, it was cheaper, it ended up breaking, and then I got a Cellerciser and the difference was noticeable. You'll see a lot of people online praising it as well, which is another kind of testament to it. But again, always appreciate you using my link. If you know my videos, I'm never really the one to push one thing. This is probably the exception for me. All right, next key takeaway. Because there's such a variety of benefits, I would say if you're struggling with a certain issue, to look up for specific rebounding exercises to help you. There's one specific for improving digestion, which is like a jump and twist that you do. There's one specific to reducing cellulite called the Jamba Run. Dave Hall, the founder of Cellerciser, he talks about the different workouts you can do, but there are so many benefits that if you just want to fine tune like what you're after, I would look into that and see what rebounding exercise will be best for you. Finding a community is another important tip to really help you be consistent and get the most out of this. You can find communities on Facebook, on Reddit. There's different workout programs where they have their own community, but really having support really helps us be consistent. So I would say find a community so you can ask questions and hear others' experiences. Moving on to another really important takeaway, and this is probably not in order at all, but take it slow. Especially with the Cellerciser, there is some resistance there, and even though it looks easy, you can find yourself getting fatigued easily. So take it slow, and then also hydrate, especially afterwards. You got your lymph moving, you got toxins flushing out, so you really want to hydrate when you're rebounding. Another key takeaway is to just be observant. Take note of changes. Like you may find yourself having more energy through the day. You may find yourself in a better mood. You may find your clothes fitting better, but just kind of be observant. I wouldn't say like be obsessive about it. Of course, we don't want to be obsessive about anything, but just take stock of what's changing for you. Last key takeaway, make it enjoyable. That's really gonna help you be consistent, and it really is enjoyable. You may find yourself like, all right, I'm gonna watch YouTube while I'm bouncing, doing my health bounce, or I'm gonna rebound while I watch my favorite show. It can be so easy, especially with something like the health bounce, which is what I usually do. I don't put much thought into it. It can just be something where you end up looking forward to rebounding. All right, so now for the fun part, we're just gonna read some interesting testimonials found on beloved Reddit. I just searched rebounding benefits and came across the rebounding community. I often love to look at this just to see what other people have experienced, because some of these things I haven't experienced myself, others I absolutely have. So somebody posted the question, so what are some benefits you've noticed since rebounding? This person responded, tighter abs, stronger core, more flexible, and blood pressure has gone down. Another person responded, I feel my ankles are more stable. I used to roll my ankles often, and now that I've been rebounding for over a year, it almost never happens. My cardio endurance has skyrocketed. I'm amazed. I have the best legs that I've ever had now at 47, but also my heartburn disappeared. Rebounding and exercise in general takes care of my heartburn. I have 0 symptoms. This person mentioned incredible cardio stamina, losing 40 pounds, that rebounding helps deal with excessive anxiety, and it's also an instant mood booster, which it absolutely is. Somebody asked the question, has women have issues with peeing while rebounding? And this person responded, I used to have this issue when I started 4 years ago. I'm happy to report that this issue has disappeared. It could be explained by strengthening the pelvic floor muscles. I'm 48 years old female and it is gone. So that I just randomly pulled some that it doesn't even scratch the surface, but it can be fun for you to do some of your own exploring. I probably could even pull up some comments from videos I've posted before around rebounding because I've heard some awesome testimonials there, which by the way, if you have experiences to share, we love to read them in the comments. But for my own personal experience, and this is where things get a little bit personal, okay? Like, so nobody's gonna judge me. No one ever judges me here. It's okay, whatever. So just as that woman mentioned that she used to pee a little bit, you know, and it's gone. Well, my pelvic floor is absolutely stronger. And this is even when I go a while without rebounding. It used to be if I was gonna do a cardio workout that involved jumping, I had to make sure my bladder was completely empty or that would happen. And you know what I mean? That doesn't happen anymore at all. So ladies, you get a rebounder, you probably don't have to do the Kegel stoplight workout, you know? And that's been something that even after I stop rebounding, if I take a long break, it still maintains. Of course, as somebody else mentioned, my cellulite greatly reduces when I'm rebounding consistently. I would say you need to give it a good month. You need to give it a good month of being consistent on rebounding because my cellulite will come back if I stop rebounding for a while, and I will notice it on the front of my legs. When I'm rebounding consistently, you know, I still have cellulite, but it's so much less noticeable. Who knows how else that's improving my skin and circulation, but that's something I've absolutely noticed. And then the last thing I have to share with you, which is really personal about my rebounding experience, is I've noticed over time, and it may be because of like aluminum deodorants or whatnot, but I will notice my lymph nodes in my underarms where it's like these little, I would describe it as like beanbag balls, like these little balls that I can see like poking out under my skin. When I rebound consistently, it goes away entirely. Now, I used to dry brush, and dry brushing would help reduce that, but I don't need to dry brush anymore because when I rebound consistently, it goes away. I also don't do body wash anymore, which it can be great for reducing cellulite, but it will go away. And recently I went a while without rebounding and the lymph nodes came back. I'm worried like somebody's gonna be like, oh gosh, you gotta worry about, you know, you need to go do something. It goes away when I rebound, okay? It goes away. I know some other friends who have experienced that too with their lymph node showing, but I thought I'd mention that because I don't know that I noticed that before. But anyways, that goes through all the history of rebounding that you need to know, how rebounding actually works, the tips you've got to know to get the most out of rebounding, some testimonials, some of which are my own. If I can leave you with this, rebounding is deceiving. It doesn't seem like much. It's like so hard to believe that something so enjoyable, something so simple could be so incredible, but don't let that stop you. If there is any advice I give you though, you've got to be consistent. Know what your weaknesses are, support yourself in being consistent, find an accountability buddy, whatever you got to do, and just be observant with what you notice. And on that note, if you have been rebounding and you've noticed some benefits, please be sure to comment below. It's so helpful for everyone. And as with every video, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to leave you with a rebounding playlist of the other rebounder videos I've made in the past. Some of them are probably going to reinforce things I've said here. And then I'm also going to share with you a video that YouTube recommends for you. But as always, thank you so much for your support. I really hope to see you in the next video. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks.